Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kids on Campus Getting to Know Your Head Start, a quick guide for kids on campus. This is a pre-recorded session, November 2024, and we are super excited to have you all join us today. Yes, so as we get started, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Susana Hines. I am the director for the Kids on Campus Partnership Initiative at the National Head Start Association. I have a colleague at ACCT, Mia Simpson, who is not joining us today, but will also be creating TA sessions and engagements and presentations for you all. So stay up to date on those as well on our website at kidsoncampus.org. So as we get started, I want to make sure that folks have the space to be able to ask questions. So you can simply scan the QR code on the screen, and we highly encourage folks to share your thoughts and use this Google form to provide us with feedback as well. And it's going to really help us inform our future discussions and TA sessions and really help strengthen collaboration. So the more that you all share and ask questions, the more we can tailor our TA sessions to what the field needs. So please feel free to scan this code, pause your video, whatever you need to do to get this code. We highly encourage you to ask questions. Towards the end of the presentation, I will also have my contact information. So feel free to fill out the form there or send me an email at shines@nhsa.org. That's SHINES at NHSA.org. With any additional questions that you may have. You can also go to our website, kidsoncampus.org, and there's an engagement page where you can schedule one-on-one meetings with us as well, if that's your preferred platform. All right, so as we get started, I want to do a quick overview of NHSA. So the National Head Start Association champions early childhood development and education. And what we believe is in the potential of every child to succeed, regardless of their background. NHSA represents over 1 million children and 275 staff, fostering healthier families and communities throughout Head Start programs. You can visit our website at www.nhsa.org. So this is a brief overview of the organization I represent. And then just for a little bit more context, there are 2 other national organizations as well. 2 more national Head Start associations. So we have the first, which is the National Indian Head Start Directors Association, what is referred to usually as NISHDA. And it is the nation's leading voice for American Indian and Alaska Native Head Start and Early Head Start programs. Oops, not too far. All right, and then NISHDA serves approximately 20,000 children representing 216 federally recognized Indian tribes, rancherias, and Alaska Native villages. And it is the only national organization representing 154 American Indian and Alaska Native Head Start and Early Head Start programs across 26 states exclusively. NISHDA's current issues and concerns include expanding workforce support and funding, as well as faculty involvement, facilities involvement, indigenizing curriculum, assessments, and evaluation tools, as well as additional funding for American Indian, Native, Alaska Native specific research. The second national organization that we have is the National Migrant and Seasonal Head Start Association, which advocates for migrant and seasonal Head Start programs that serve over 30,000 children across 34 states. The National Migrant and Seasonal Head Start Association offers coordinated services to support mobile families and children as they migrate between states. This includes facilitating the transfer of academic and medical records, and when possible, ensuring that Head Start children are enrolled in migrant and seasonal Head Start programs in their new location, which is pretty unique to those Head Start programs. Additionally, they provide extended service hours, typically 12-hour days or often 6 days a week, And really that's to meet the unique needs of migrant and seasonal Head Start families. And over the course of the past year, the National Migrant and Seasonal Head Start Association has continued to carry out its mission of providing quality and comprehensive services to its families through meetings, focus groups, conferences, projects, and programs, amongst a lot of other programming that they provide. So a little bit about the Head Start infrastructure. So just a little bit background. So state Head Start associations are also part of the mix. We have 51 there, but the majority of these are nonprofit member organizations representing Head Start programs within their state. Their key areas of focus include advocacy and awareness, championing policies, and increasing public understanding. Another focus area includes statewide systems and partnerships, which can be building collaboration to really strengthen their state systems, as well as professional development, so hosting conferences, trainings, and growth opportunities, peer support, so facilitating and exchanging and sharing best practices, as well as parent leadership, so really elevating that parent voice and fostering leadership within the state. So that's a little view of the 51 state associations and kind of what their focus and key focus areas are. So if we take it up a little bit, we have the 3 national organizations that I explained. So that's the NHSA, NISHDA, and the National Migrant and Seasonal Head Start Program. And remember, NISHDA is the National Indian Head Start Directors Association. And then we have 10 regional associations, and then 55 collaboration offices. So this is just a little of the inner workings of the associations and offices that somewhat govern and work within the Head Start space. So we'll go into a little bit more. And so now I'm just going to want to give a glimpse into the regional association and the collaboration offices, so we can talk a little bit more about that. All right, so the Head Start regional associations. So these associations really align with the Office of Administration for Children and Families, 10 regional offices, and their governance and operational structure. So again, these regions that you see here, 1 through 10, these align and are in coordination with the Office of the Administration for Children and Families. So Region 1, their office is based out of Boston, and it consists of Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. We have Region 2, which has their office based out of New York City, and they serve New Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Region 3, we have the Philadelphia office, which serves Delaware, the District of Columbia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia. Region 4, out of their Atlanta office, serves Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Then we have Region 5, which is going to be based out of the Chicago office, which serves Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, Wisconsin. Region 6 is based out of the Dallas office, which is going to serve Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. Region 7 serves Kansas City, and their Kansas City office serves Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska. Region 8 is out of their Denver office, serves Colorado, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming. Region 9 is the San Francisco office and the areas that serve Arizona, California, Hawaii, Nevada, American Samoa, the Federation of Micronesia, Guam, Marshall Islands, Republic of Palau, and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Region 10, up to the west, based out of their San Francisco, Region 10 out of their Seattle office, my hometown, is the Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington states. So that just gives you a little bit of the structure of how the Head Start regional associations in alignment with the Office of Administration and Children and their regional offices kind of overline. And so they have, again, their own TA and focus areas to support Head Start programs. So now let's get a little bit into the collaboration offices. So sorry, let me go back one quick point with regards to the regional association. So in addition to the training that they also provide a technical assistance. There are opportunities to provide exchange and collaboration and engagement across state boundaries, which is something that a lot of states appreciate and leverage. And they also engage in a wide variety of public and private partnerships that support the mission of Head Start. Yes, and each one of those has a state lead. And if you want to get in contact, please feel free to reach out to me and we can direct you to the leaders in those regions. All right, now let's get into the collaboration offices. So a little bit of the overview for the Head Start collaboration offices. So these offices are funded primarily by the Office of Head Start, which is situated within the Office of Administration for Children and Families. And they are, again, primarily funded by the Office of Head Start. And so these offices, what their job is really to facilitate partnerships among agencies serving low-income children and families. So these director-led offices are designed to facilitate collaboration among Head Start agencies and entities that carry out activities designed to benefit low-income children from birth to school entry and their families. So the Head Start collaboration offices are in all 50 states, DC, Puerto Rico, and for the American Indian and Alaskan Native and migrant and seasonal Head Start programs. So a little bit about their priorities. Some of their priorities include partnering with their state child care systems, collecting data on early childhood programs and outcomes, expanding access to quality workforce and career development for programs, as well as align with the state quality rating improvement systems, the QRIS systems, and promoting continuity between Head Start and the receiving schools for children and their families. And again, these offices can sit in a variety of state agencies, from the Department of Education to the Department of Health or Social Services, the state's Department of Early Learning, the Workforce Development Department, the Governor's Office, and just different ways in which these state collaboration offices sit within the 50 states and other territories. All right, so Head Start is just one possible funding source available outside of private pay. Each program is slightly different. So Head Start, so I'm going to go a little bit into Head Start, childcare, and public pre-K. So Head Start is, as was stated before, a federally funded program with a comprehensive approach to early learning. They do more than just provide education services, but also support the physical and mental health and family well-being. Head Start slots are specifically reserved for the most vulnerable children and families, and the program is free to the families who participate. Head Start also, which a lot of people don't know, serves pregnant women and children from birth through school entry. So that's kind of pretty unique. The early Head Start aspect of the work, or some of the home-based Head Start programs, sometimes go a little bit under the radar. And later on, I'll share a little bit about the percentages and what kind of the makeup is between like center care, home-based, and Head Start and early Head Start and whatnot. But then we have childcare, general childcare, and what we mean there is it is really state regulated, right? Childcare services, and these can vary from focusing only on child development to a more comprehensive approach like Head Start, right? We have a lot that actually model themselves off of Head Start. Childcare services can be provided from infants up through school age and typically up to age 12. Childcare, as many of us know, is not a free service. I have a young 2-year-old, and so I know this pretty intimately. Families either pay privately or use state subsidies or vouchers or scholarships. Language a little bit changes around those types of subsidies. Some childcare programs may have scholarship funds in addition to some state subsidies for eligible families as well. And again, that can get into the local, the county, and additional support to pay for the more general childcare state regulated classrooms. Then newly into the mix, or some states sooner than others, is what we're calling public pre-K. And these are usually run at the state or local level, which and at the local level, it's usually a major metro area, such as like Seattle and whatnot. And it's not available in all states. Let me repeat that again. Public, or what some call universal pre-K, is really run at the state or local level, and it's not necessarily available in all states. Some states' pre-K programs model their public pre-K programs off of Head Start. Others take parts and some parts and not. Others really only focus on kindergarten readiness and academic learning, which is different than Head Start. Some public pre-K programs are means tested, while others are available to anyone who is interested, often called universal pre-K. All right, so this is a great photo of when we visited a newly opened Kids on Campus partnership. It was really great to see the kids out there at Holyoke. But yeah, cute photo of them. So a little overview of Head Start programs and the children that they serve. So now that we've explored kind of really the national, the regional, and the state level perspectives of Head Start and early learning programs, let's dive into what Head Start truly is and how it operates. So early Head Start programs serve children birth to 3, as well as pregnant women. Migrant seasonal Head Start programs serve children birth to 5 from families doing migrant farm work or seasonal agricultural labor. The American Indian and Alaskan Native, or what we call tribal Head Start programs, are run by sovereign American Indian and Alaskan Native entities, serving American Indian and Alaskan Native and Native children and their families, with an emphasis on their unique cultural heritage and background. So a little bit about the structure and types of Head Start. So comprehensive support. So basically, Head Start serves over 1 million children, has served nearly 1 million children and families annually. Federally funded programs, grants provided directly to the provider, which is pretty unique. The geographical service area centers operate within their designated service area, with relocation allowed within the same area. So again, this varies by state, by region, by service program area, but really Head Start programs and grantees have a designated area that they serve. If they do want to expand beyond, or be working with a community college that's maybe outside their service area, there may be opportunities to change their scope and to kind of ask for permission or work in partnership with the local designated Head Start for that area, wherever that college may be located. So funding utilization. So a lot of the funding from Head Start is used to cover staffing, facilities, trainings, and the family support and other support team members. There's a lot of like mental health folks that are on, payroll and utilize Head Start funds. We have nurses, we have nutritionists that are all on basically the payroll, are being covered by Head Start funds. Flexible program models. So Head Start programs, I'm going to go back into what I kind of alluded to a little bit before, where Head Start programs can either be center-based, they can be home-based, or they can be a mix of both. These Head Start centers can be operated as an entire center. So a whole building can be just a Head Start building with their administrative offices, as well as their classrooms. They can be individual classrooms. So a Head Start program can be within another building, let's say the Department of Labor or another like federal, state, or local agency. They can have maybe a classroom in that area. They can have a classroom within another space that of another maybe potentially childcare area where they rent out one of the empty classrooms from that center or from that entity. They can also have reserved slots in an existing early learning or childcare program. So certain children within that program, so certain quote unquote Head Start slots can be reserved within an existing childcare program. So that can be a blended classroom is a language that we use sometimes, where we can have 5 Head Start children and 5 private pay or universal pre-K students. So yeah, so Head Starts can also be in a diverse setting, such as churches, nonprofit organizations. We have seen Head Starts at homeless shelters or domestic violence shelters, low income or mixed income housing, or like Kids on Campus on community college and university campuses. So now let's get into a little bit about what we call the federal to local funding model. Here's a picture of Howard Community College and the Community Action Council of Howard County opening up another Kids on Campus site out here in Maryland. All right, so Head Start dollars flow directly from the Office of Head Start in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to individual organizations, or what we call grantees, that operate these Head Start programs. A grantee can have 1 or 2 classrooms, 1 center. A grantee can have multiple centers serving 1,000+ kids. It can really vary. Head Start grants are awarded on a 5-year cycle. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when wanting or thinking about partnering with your local Head Start program. And, if you are a Head Start program, where are you in that 5-year cycle? And how does partnering with your local community college impact, the grant award and where you are and, when you come up for recompetition or applying for the next cycle. Head Start programs may also be community-based nonprofits. As we see here in the picture, a community action agency. They can be within school districts. They can be with government agencies and a lot of other different types of organizations. We even have some colleges and community colleges that are the Head Start grantee. All right, so Head Start serves children and families through a variety of service types. As I shared before, we have Head Start, early Head Start, and what we're calling Head Start preschool. So Head Start serves children and families, and a vast majority of the children served by Head Start are in center-based care. About 90% of those children are in actual center-based care. And about 10%, obviously, are served in our home-based or family child care setting space. And again, Head Start programs are assigned their designated service area. Head Start programs are assigned a service area, which covers several counties and rural areas, or just a few city blocks in urban areas. So that can vary. They serve eligible children and families within the area and will have a set of selection criteria used to prioritize family when demand of a slot exceeds the available slots. Programs can choose to relocate centers within their service area based on their community needs assessment and property availability. So there are 4 main categories of eligibility for Head Start. So number 1, a family's income is equal to or below the federal poverty line. The family is eligible for public assistance. So number 2, the family would be eligible for public assistance, such as temporary assistance for needy families, or TANF, supplemental Social Security income, SSI, and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. 3, the family is experiencing homelessness according to the McKinney-Vento Homelessness Assistance Act, or 4, the child is in foster care. Programs may also, under certain circumstances, enroll children who would benefit from services but do not qualify under these criteria. as well as those whose income is between 100 and 130% of the federal poverty line. Programs must ensure that at least 10% of the children they serve have a diagnosed disability, meaning they are eligible for services under the Individuals with Disability Education Act, or IDEA. So some quick Head Start fast facts. Right here, you have a map of the Head Start and Early Head Start centers nationwide as of 2023. Every dot represents one Head Start center, and there are about 16,000 Head Start centers and Early Head Start centers nationwide. Nearly 40 million children have been served since Head Start's founding. There are about 808 funded seats nationwide. And Head Start really is dedicated to supporting early math, reading, confidence, and resilience for school and life success. Head Start addresses the needs of young children and their family through 4 pillars. These 4 pillars are education, health services, family involvement, and what we call wraparound services. These comprehensive approaches really address the needs of young children and their families through 4 different pillars, right? So the education, that's really the learning experience that fosters intellectual, social, and emotional growth. When we say health services, these things can include providing immunizations, dental and medical care and information, mental health support and services, nutrition services, and early learning, early screenings for development. Family involvement, when I say family involvement, this means engages parents and or their caregivers in the decision-making, providing classes, volunteering to strengthen families. A lot of this time when I was working in Head Start in Seattle, this was, parenting classes. We found Train the Trainer, circle of security support for all of our families, whether there was a center-based or the home-based care, they had access to parenting courses. Wraparound services. So what we mean by this is it's tailored services and supports that really meet the families and children where they're at, and they connect them to the community resources and partners that Head Start programs are able to leverage through their vast network of supports and TAs that is provided to Head Start programs. All right, so why Head Start on community colleges, right? So I'm a data wonk. Here's a little bit more data. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly, most community colleges operate within Head Start's geographical service area. The median distance from a campus to the nearest Head Start is only 1.5 miles. Nearly half, or about 45%, of Head Start parents in 2017 and 2018 had a high school diploma or equivalent, and about 23% had less than a high school education, and many had a desire to continue their education and or enter the workforce. So being able to partner with a community college really allows the Head Start to connect their parents to post-secondary education and learning resources provided by the community college, and vice versa, right? We have the community college that's able to come in and provide support to the families and or Head Start staff to really help families work towards their family goal or provide that additional education support for families. Over a quarter of community college students reported that caregiving responsibilities may lead them to withdraw from school. Many times we saw this was due to a lack of quality and accessible childcare. So understanding and knowing that there is a large share of, childcare needs amongst student parents, right? And students at the community college specifically who have these caregiving responsibilities. We have nearly half of college student parents with children 0 to 5 who are income eligible for Head Start. So there, is a large share or, a good chunk of students with children who would qualify for Head Start, who have the children with the right ages and are income eligible. That, and again, remember, income eligible is only one of the pillars for eligibility. More than half of single student parents have children 0 to 5 are income eligible for Head Start. So let me say that one more time. Nearly half of the college students with children 0 to 5 are eligible for Head Start, and more than half of the single parenting students with children 0 to 5 are income eligible for Head Start. So here we can see what and where community and technical colleges are partnering, or Head Starts are partnering with the local college campus. We have around 130 community and technical colleges across the US that have Head Start centers physically located on their campuses. These centers provide early learning opportunities for children while also supporting college students and staff with access to high quality care and service learning and internship opportunities. So what we mean by that is not only is having a Head Start center on your college campus providing the ability for Head Start parents and families to access the campus and enroll, but also supporting students and staff who may qualify for Head Start access Head Start, but the service learning and internship opportunities that a college can leverage with the Head Start to provide learning opportunities for their students who may not have a young child, but may have a desire to go into early childhood education, or may have a desire to go into the culinary arts or nursing, right? A lot of the times Head Start programs need support in providing child development assessments and doing those with the children, or coming in and doing the weight and height and all that good stuff for the children in their program. Even dental hygienists, right? Any dental program that's on the campus, Head Start, that's one of the pillars that they work on to provide access to information and dental care for their children and their families. So really, the presence of a Head Start program on a college campus can help strengthen Head Start family engagement, as well as support the workforce development of the local Head Start program and the early childhood development space. All right, the fun stuff, the Head Start funding sources. So Head Start programs really, a lot of them are combining these different sources of funding that can come from the federal, the state, and even institutional funds that are utilized to support partnerships with college and their student parents. So here are some of the key funding sources that we've seen Head Start programs utilize. So again, we have the Head Start federal funding. So that's the federal to local Head Start Act kind of funds that are available. We also have state pre-K, sorry, let me go do this one. The state Head Start state funding, right? So there are certain states that have dedicated Head Start funding to provide supplemental slots and or support for the Head Starts in their states. We also have CCDF, so it's the Child Care and Development Funds subsidies. We have state universal pre-K funding. And again, that can look different. Not all states have that pre-K funding. There may be some in the city and the local counties, but really the state is where we've seen some of these braiding and blending of funding. We also have some funds from the state QRIS system. So that's the Quality Rating and Improvement System. There are funds there to support Head Start programming. We also have C Campus. So that means childcare access means parents in school. And this is, again, one of those federal to local funding programs. So these funds flow directly from the federal government to the local college or university. And a lot of the times these funds go to help pay or offset the co-pays or other needs for student parents on that college campus. Again, the college writes the grant and they write how they're going to utilize these funds. And if they're accepted, as long as they're within the scope of their grant, then they're able to use funds like that. Most recently, we've seen a community college partner with their local Head Start to submit the C Campus application together, and being able to utilize those funds to help pay for the supplies for the classroom, the new center that they were opening on the college campus, able to provide for the toys, the books, the chair, the little chairs and tables that they needed. They wrote that into their C Campus grant to help them open up that Kids on Campus initiative program on one of the local community colleges. We also have private pay. A lot of the programs that we're talking to now, the Head Start programs wanting to get onto a community college, are having conversations with presidents of like, okay, well, what does this look like down the line where we have some private pay classrooms or slots at the center, right? And a lot of the times the colleges are thinking about this for their staff, their faculty, as somewhat of a recruitment tactic for the college. So something to think about and consider when talking with your partners. College support. So this is one that's sometimes not seen as often, but in site visits that I've done, we've seen capital investments from the college or the county. We've seen student fees. So students get together to be like, hey, we want to provide some financial resources to our peers going to college with us and provide some stipends and scholarships for students. We've seen this also through student government funds. So student government organizations on the college campus also provide some funds and scholarships for student parents accessing Head Start programs. Some benefits to being able to have these on their college campuses and being able to braid and blend these types of fundings is it allows for extended care hours beyond the typical Head Start hours and offerings. And being able to really diversify your funding enhances your program sustainability and the success of the center. I wouldn't go to say without having the benefits, talking a little bit about some of the challenges. So when you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like, all these, 2+, I would say, funding sources, it can really increase a program's management and complexity. But at the end of the day, it really strengthens their financial foundation. All right, so let's go a little bit into the Head Start staff structure in these programs. So here is a very basic, every program has their own structure and system in which they work at with the Head Start system. Again, depends on how large, how small, this can look very different. But generally, this is, something to help understand the different levels and types and number of folks at these different tiers, right? So we have program leadership. Generally, that's how we're describing it. These can be executive directors, it can be a Head Start director, it can be an early Head Start director. We have some programs that have Head Start and early Head Start directors wearing multiple hats. Sometimes these program leadership folks can be a CEO. Sometimes their title can be president. But generally what this is they oversee the program's operation, right? And they often, with higher leadership, if part of a larger organization, right? So thinking about the community action programs and agencies, Head Start may be one, pillar of the services that they offer. A lot of them may provide utility assistance or housing, or a lot of these other community action type programs, and Head Start is one of those, right? Or Head Start can even be one of the many pillars that they have in their offerings of childcare or early learning opportunities in their center. So those titles can look very different. And again, they can be managing one center. They can be managing 5 centers across 5 different counties. It can be within one city and 10 different programs that they're managing. It can look very different. And it's really important to really understand the structure and scale and scope of the Head Start staff and the structure that they operate within. Then we have site leadership, right? So each Head Start center has a site leader, or sometimes referred to as a center director or a site director. And particularly we see this in multi-state programs or multi-site programs, apologies. But to that point, some of these Head Start grantees and programs can be across border, across states and in multiple different states. Content area managers. So these lead managers are for specialized services that Head Start provides, and these can include, and again, these names may differ slightly across states and across programs, but generally you have like an education and child development person within these content area managers. Within the content area managers, you can also see a family engagement manager. You can see a health and mental health manager. ERSI, and what ERSI stands for is eligibility, recruitment, selection, enrollment, and attendance. So that is typically its own role and department, and pretty much ERSI is standardized somewhat across most of the Head Start programs nationwide. Really with regards to, again, eligibility, recruitment, selection, enrollment, and attendance. There are Head Start regulations that mandate some of those requirements. So you would see a ERSI manager, director, and whatnot. There also can be content area managers within disabilities, facilities, nutrition, transportation. Not all Head Start programs provide transportation, but some do. Then you have direct service staff. And they engage then directly with the children and families. And so these direct service staff, you can think of them, you know, your teachers, your assistant teacher, your family service workers, your advocates. And then in this mix too, is the other support and partners that a Head Start program may have that may be integral into their execution of their Head Start programming. It is crucial to understand that the structure and know who engages and who to engage. Sorry, let me say that one more again. So in understanding the structure model, it's really important to, again, understand how your local Head Start works and functions, because that's going to really help you understand who and how to engage with to begin to build your partnership team on whether it's the community college side or the Head Start side, really understanding, you know, what is needed to get across that line to opening those doors. And again, identifying and bringing in the right people, the key stakeholders at the front will really help ensure a strong and effective collaboration. All right, so we're almost done. We're almost there. We have important thing to note around space needs for Head Start. So Head Start programs, you know, we are in the big cities. We are at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Head Start programs are everywhere, right? And I encourage you, whoever you are, wherever you may be, look and reach out to your local Head Start and see what and how they are run. Every Head Start program is so unique. And the beauty of Head Start is we really meet the parent, the child, and the family where they are and make Head Start work for them, right? And so with regards to some of the space needs, these are some standards that, you know, this is kind of the minimum or guidelines to consider. Again, consult with your local Head Start provider and your program, but generally, things to consider when exploring a Kids on Campus partnership is the indoor space a minimum of 35 square feet per child? Is there outdoor space available? And again, outdoor space can look very different, but is there a minimum of 75 square feet per child? A little bit about this outdoor space, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a nice brand spanking new playground, right? With the state-of-the-art slide and this and that. It can be, you know, your local playground that's already built there, and it can look pretty different. I've seen some Head Start programs utilize the local community center, right? Where they can do some like they take a walk to the center and be able to do some gross motor activity and movement there when the weather's not nice. And so, you know, again, partner and heed the advice of your local Head Start provider. They'll have all this insight. The other level of this and consideration that needs to take place is the licensing aspect of it. Again, every state has their own childcare licensing guidelines. But within Head Start, you must meet those state, tribal, or local licensing requirements because they can vary. And those are usually with the most stringent standards, those apply. Class size and staff ratio. So generally, again, with Head Start preschool, again, those are 3 to 5-year-olds. Usually it's 20 children for 2 staff folks and about 17 if it's mostly 3-year-olds. And again, some state and local stuff may impact some of these numbers. Then you have generally your early Head Start, which is about 8 children per 2 staff. And just note, if co-locating a Head Start center isn't feasible, right? If like there's, you're a community college and you're really excited and you want to partner, but you literally are at capacity and have no extra space for the Head Start to come in right now, but maybe down the line it's something you're thinking to consider to expand. There are other ways to partner with your local Head Start, and there are other partnerships models that can still support student parents and children at the community college, as well as Head Start families and children in a Head Start college partnership, right? They can be where the the college is coming in and providing some support at the actual Head Start center, whether that's training, support, opportunities for apprenticeships or internships, service learning, and those kinds of things. And the Head Start can also come in and provide some of their knowledge and expertise to the college and the early learning department and all those kinds of things. So partnerships can look very different. There can be pipelines and let me not say pipelines, I'm sorry. There can be pathways for college students who are, needing Head Start services. There can be maybe some type of intake form or partnership created there where Head Starts can leverage some of the other resources and fundings and supports that a college can provide. So don't, just think if you don't have these spaces now, doesn't mean down the line you will, colleges acquire land and buildings all the time from what I hear. So just keeping that in mind, there are different ways you can partner with your college if being physically co-located on a college campus doesn't make sense right now. So that's all I have. I want to thank you all for joining me. Yes, please keep in touch. I'm here. My email is shines, pretty easy, at nhsa.org. Again, I'm Susana Hines. I am the Kids on Campus Partnership Director at the National Head Start Association. This QR code, if you scan it with your camera, pull out your phone, click the link for that, or you can go to www.kidsoncampus.org. You can engage with us there. There's resources you all can access. We have a really amazing user guide that has questions and things to consider as you're looking at and interested in a Kids on Campus partnership. And so, yeah, please stay in touch. Please email me, let me know if there's anything we can do. On our website, we have a link where you can engage and schedule a meeting with us. And hope to see you all at our next technical assistance webinar or engagement opportunity. Take care.